Listen, it's no secret that I have said in the past, I would rather do a lot of things that are unmentionable than talk about Ethan Klein. I said the name. Oh my God. Listen. Somebody call my mom.
We are the weirdos, mister.
Hi, hello, it is me. Audra, the Messiah of Nonsense, and your unlicensed therapist, and also a lover of dead television, and sometimes a political girly pop. All right, in today's video, it's going to be a little interesting because I did, in fact, react live on Twitch and YouTube at the same time to Idubbbz Content Cop. I also had time to marinate on the video and have additional thoughts about it. So this video will be a mishmash of the two things, and I hope that you enjoy it. All right, past me, or even more past me, take it away. So, a few days ago, Idubbbz dropped a Content Cop on H3. I've watched it, I feel like actually 3 times. I was going to say 2 times. I've watched it with my eyes 1 time. I've listened to it in its entirety 2 times, okay? Content Cop was something that Idubbbz did to call out creators who were doing really shitty things. But also, let's not pretend that he wasn't an inward throwing kind of person. He was one of those liberal edgy dudes who thought that words are just words and they don't have meaning unless you give them power, which is a very liberal thing to do. You give words power all the time. The thing was, his old Content Cops were very intense and quite cruel. And Idubbbz went out into the world. He got a wife. He became an adult and began to realize that he did not enjoy that when he did go out into the world, everybody was just throwing the N-word at him, just throwing it, just saying it to him. And he was like, this is not the legacy I want to leave behind, actually. And so his turn into the newer content where he's not yelling R slurs has had his old fans mad, saying his channel is washed up. I always think that that is a weird thing to say because washed up at 7 million subscribers would literally mean that nobody was watching any of his videos. He is still able to make a living off of it. So I think he's doing fine. You gotta stop wanting so bad for people you don't like to, or that you used to like to fail. Like, you've gotta find something to do. It's really weird. However, I was actually trying to start prepping a video about Idubbbz, funnily enough. And a lot of people on Reddit were like, I don't know why he doesn't still just do Content Cop, but like use it for good. And I thought the same thing. And wouldn't you know it that today, April 16th, 2025, Idubbbz would drop a Content Cop. The good. It starts amazingly. To me, it's just like it's a banger of a start. Really good. Kind of makes you believe in things very great. Again, as a smoker of cigarettes, I do not advocate literally ever trying to smoke 4 cigarettes at one time. It's a terrible idea. And also, just as a side note, please don't try to put them out on your pants. And if you are a cigarette smoker, please don't be throwing your shit just like on the ground. Don't do that. Save the earth. Sorry I yelled at you. I yell at you because I love you.
What's up, everybody? I'm Hasan Piker, and this is the Hasan broadcast coming to you live from a cloudy day here in California, Los Angeles. We're live on.
I just want you to know that my face is doing this because I'm really trying not to be attracted to Hasan in this moment because I have forsaken men. No. I am pan in that I am now, but I'm actively no men. None. Get away from me. Stay away from my carnal treasure.
Live, and I hope all the boys, girls, and MBs are having a fantastic one because today's a beautiful day. I have a very important announcement. I finally done it. I watched Ethan Klein's Content Nuke, and I'm not going to call it Context Puke as I normally do because the reality of the matter is it was brilliant. Nothing was out of context. Everything was correct. I am an Islamist, fundamentalist, radical terrorist. I am a vicious anti-Semite. It's true. Most importantly, Ethan is more attractive than me, both physically and also mentally. I've been lying about everything, including my glasses. They're fake. He was right about that. That's not even in the content nuke. And he was right about that too. How did he know everything? How? Wake up, Ethan. Wake up, Ethan. Ethan, wake up.
Wakey, wakey, Ethan. Wake up, Ethan. Wake up.
It does feel like his ultimate bad.
Wake, Ethan.
Wake up, Ethan.
Hi,
This is
Denim.
no longer a dream. This is a nightmare. Wake up.
Ethan, the dumb bitch is telling you to wake up.
Wake up, Ethan. Wake up.
Ah.
Wake up, Ethan.
I really don't know why people hate Frogan. That's none of my business, but I think she's super pretty. I love women. I love when women. I love when women exist. I love when women walk. I love when they talk. I like it when they're quiet. I like it when they're loud. You know what I mean? I like it when women just women. I love women. Okay. She's really pretty.
Ethan, wake up. Wake up. Since anyone? Just wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up, Ethan.
I'm not gonna do a react content yet, chat.
I'm listening. Nobody's told you to wake up, Ethan.
Yummy, I love Sabra hummus.
Wake up, Ethan. Wake up.
Ethan.
Wake up, Ethan.
I could have done without the deep throating of the mic. Anyway, that is how the content cops start. So after having seen the video as many times as I have, this is what I have to say. This video needed to be two different videos. One of them needed to be Ian responding to Ethan and Hila, both of them deserve smoke for going on tirades about how Ian and his wife, Anissa, won't stick up for them, blah, 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 blah. Completely forgetting that one, Idubbbbz' wife is part Lebanese and Italian, I believe is what he said. I could be wrong on the second part. Lebanese and Irish, thank you. I knew it was and I just couldn't remember. And also, perhaps he just doesn't want to get involved in it. I feel like that should have been a separate video. The reason I feel like it should have been two videos and not the content cop itself is because there were points where it got convoluted on whether or not he was talking about their friendship or Ethan and H3 as a whole. And I feel like that, to me, is where it kind of started to lose a little bit of steam as the video went on. Because like with an intro that big, that was a banger ass intro. You had all these people that have been being bullied by Ethan or talked about by Ethan, pulled up very regularly by Ethan. You had all those people in the video, people that he very regularly says like, oh my God, they're evil. They're the most evil person ever. That should have been the intro to the content cop. And then we needed to have a separate video where Ian was addressing his friendship. Because I do think that it changes how you talk about the situations. I think that there were some things in the content cop that weren't stressed enough. For instance, Ethan getting Arab content creators banned for 30 days because he didn't like what he had to say. A little bit more in-depth conversation about the fact that Ethan has, basically made himself like a hug box, which is not good for himself. He did need to go harder. And I'm not saying he needs to be cruel. I don't think that he needed to be cruel in the video. I don't think he needed to be nasty to him. But I think because he started the video with the friendship aspect of it, I think it watered down some of his information when he got to the things that H3 had done. Like we were discussing like the BDS list, explaining what the BDS list is and then being able to explain the joke. Because that was a little messy for some people. Like I didn't fully understand that until after the fact.
BDS is short for boycott, divestment, and sanctions. It's a movement to get individuals and institutions to withdraw their money and support from Israel. The goal being to pressure Israel to end its illegal occupation, settlement building, and attacks on Palestinians.
Now we're going to talk about the BDS list. We're going to start off with Frogan because obviously this is like as bad as it gets. If you're following Frogan, that can only mean that you're anti-Ethan. Sam, Morg Pie, friend of the show. Olivia, Ian, Daily Dose of Internet is anti-Ethan. One tier below them are the creators who associate with them. They're essentially endorsing all of their statement. You have this other tier of creators that exist below Hasan but are still anti-Ethan. But Ethan really doesn't want to bring your attention to these ones because it's kind of unpopular.
Also, like I'd said earlier, discussing like how it really fucked up it is for you to get Arab creators banned on Twitch for 30 days because you just didn't like it. I think a little bit more time spent on not only the button, which I feel like that part was really powerful.
So here's the button. You've got a video and you've got an audio. We're hitting both.
Yes.
There's no point.
Let's leave.
Yeah, there's no need.
Yeah.
Don't. But shit, how pathetic are you? Don't worry if you don't have it all now. You don't listen. Pedophile. Like the Eye of Sauron. I see you.
Yeah.
I see you out there, you fucking cockroach. You'll be living with your parents for a lot longer, probably. Yes. Please, I want to be a big deal. I'm a big deal. Please, guys, please.
Oh. Yeah, I don't think it was that.
That was fine.
Big a deal.
But it could have been more powerful if you, it could have been a little bit more. The button section is about the fact that Ethan has a button that deletes the last 10 seconds of stream if he says or does anything that he really shouldn't. My understanding of his live streams is that it's for paying members only. So I think that if Ethan was going to talk about this, he really needed to discuss the fact that Ethan has, and go in more detail, has his own special little hug box where only people who agree with him are there and talk to him, and nobody has a dissenting opinion, and that's not good for him. And you can hit that in the content cop and as his friend. I also didn't really like that he kept saying that they're good people, because to me, they're not good people.
It's like kind of an internet friendship. We think that she's a good person like we think Ethan and Neela are good people. It's not completely unjustified to be thinking about that sometimes. You guys are just hurt, and you're kind of like dancing around and making very like loose, poorly thought out analogies for something that doesn't even apply to us.
You know, I also see the dynamic of Ethan and Neela. I'm like, fuck, like, it's really hard to be a couple online and see people attacking your partner, and it's like, okay, like if you come to their defense, that doesn't always help them, right? Sometimes that makes it worse for them.
I don't think that you're good people when you actively work to allow your audience to seek out and dox people, when you're regularly going on these occasions to dox people and letting your fan base do it. Because it's very obvious that that's what you're doing. You don't bring up someone's face and bring up their picture and do all of this stuff the way that you're doing it because you don't want people to find them and make their lives miserable. And these are like regular ass people. Yeah, I do think if he had been cruel to Ethan, it wouldn't have been effective. Ethan is unnerved by true accountability and kindness. Yeah, you could see that in his react at some point, but like, I think that there were a few points that he just didn't hit on hard enough. And I feel like the button was a part of it. I feel like also talking about past H3, the way that they really behaved and how they're not actually good people, really go into more details about the doxing and the harassment, because like he did have Mika's rhetoric. We stand Mika in this house. He did have Mika's rhetoric in the video. I think it would have been more powerful if he had even gotten a statement from her. Not because he was putting her information, but because allowing her to even really begin to like explain, like so many other people just don't really even get the chance to truly do, like what negative impact it had on her as a creator. I know she probably wouldn't want that because she likely would not want that attention like back on her and having them attack her again. But I think that that was a big part of it that needed to be discussed in more detail. Most importantly, I hated the soft landing of the ending.
When Psychology in Seattle was watching these video clips of Ethan, he said that it looks like Ethan could just use a hug. Now, of course, it kind of pisses me off to hear that shit, because I'm like, what are we doing? What are we saying? He needs a hug? No, he doesn't need a hug. He needs a good fucking ass whooping is what he needs. I think
Allegedly,
something that's very important to me in bringing back Content Cop is to be fair. I think that was something that was not illustrated in previous Content Cops that I think should have been, and probably wouldn't have left me with so much regret. Ethan deserves all of the criticism that he's getting. I think it's very valid. But I also think, at the end of the day, we should acknowledge that he's human, because he is human. In the spirit of Kirk saying that it looks like Ethan could just use a hug, I have challenged some of his most powerful haters to put down the haterade and just say something nice and charitable about him.
Couldn't be me.
Because I think he deserves it.
I just wanted to say that I respect that you are genuinely yourself on the internet. I think a lot of other people respect you for it as well. I think that's a big reason why people were drawn to your content in the first place. I think that's a lot of the reason why your employees chose to work with you over anyone else.
Ethan, I think it's respectable that you even began this journey to leave behind the ETSGW crowd and step into a more empathetic worldview. I know it's not easy.
Ethan Klein, I think that when you are being goofy,
These people are
when
nicer
you're
to
being
me.
silly, when you are being lighthearted, and just having fun with your friends, I think that is when you're at your best. So I'd love to see more of that. That'd be sick.
I will be reading my letter off because I don't want to sound robotic. H3 used to give Sports for Good that I used to watch. I hope that one day gets back to what I remember. You were one of the inspirations for me to start creating content, so all this has stopped. I hope you really hear this, and I wish you the best.
I think Ethan Klein rocks a buzz cut pretty good, and I think he's got a good choice of facial hair. I think it's really cool what he did 8 years ago, fighting that frivolous lawsuit. That was pretty fucked up, and fighting it, you know, he changed YouTube for the better. And I thought that was cool because I thought it was like he was fighting for free speech.
Yeah, he did not care. From like the little snippets that I have seen that people were trying to be kind to him, he did not care. He was already so worked up into his frenzy of rage and anger and hatred that he just couldn't care that people were trying to be nice to him. I understand that Ian's trying to be more empathetic, which that's fine, but you also don't have to end everything with a soft landing. And I think that the soft landing did not help the situation at all. I think that it just was moss. I feel like that just took it to a level where I was like, I don't know. Like, you can say something nice, but trying to get other people to say something nice, like, it couldn't be me, and apparently it couldn't be Hasan, because he was like, no, thank you. So I think all in all, I am glad that he made it, but I think if he, and I do actually want him to bring Content Cop back, actually, because many people on Reddit have been wondering if he could just use it for good. And I think he can have the empathy in it, but I think that you can be hard-hitting and truthful without being cruel. And I think that you can be empathetic without being so soft that it feels like a bubble bath at the end. I didn't want a bubble bath. And that's just me, you know what I mean? That is literally just my opinion. If you are a member of the Patreon and or the YouTube memberships, you have access to the Discord, and you will have space in there in the Girly Pop Politics channel with which to bring up topics that you think I should cover. And I will also be moving forward looking at that while I'm on stream. I feel like if I keep going like this, I'm gonna need like another monitor. It is my birthday month, so like, listen, I'm milking every bit of my birthday that I can, because who knows if, you know, we're gonna get another year. You know what I mean? The way things are going. That was a dark note to end on. Anyways, but that is it. That is all. If you like this video, subscribe. If you didn't, you know, don't. Hi to the people who hate me now. Hi to those who love me. You're pretty. You look good today, boo. Until next time, I am so pretty, and so are you.